Thank you for joining me today. I'm so happy you're here. So we're working through our introductory series, mostly because sometimes we come to yoga feeling like things aren't easily attainable. The number one thing I get when a new student tries a class is I can't touch my toes, or I will start when I'm more flexible. So that's kind of going inside that bucket, like I'll be happy when, right? We need to bring it back to the present moment and figure out where in our life can we be happy now? Where can we stop striving and just start noticing how big we actually are, how great we actually are. And that's the shift I want us to make today, is no matter how you're showing up, no matter how tight your hips, your hamstrings, no matter how closed you think you might be as you come to the practice, know that everything you'll experience here, all the reactions, it's all useful. And all the breath work, all the asana, that's the postures, it's all useful and it becomes a part of you and it starts to build on each other. I have my brother doing the program right now, and he said that over the last 30 days he's opened his body so much so that his chiropractor is starting to notice, and he's seeing these like little shifts just in posture and breath work, bringing in elements of mindfulness into your body and your mind. So it's all useful. So when you think it's not, just know that it is. And we'll get started today in child's pose. So child's pose is a great place to start, especially if you're uncomfortable seated. Sometimes you go to a class and you're seated and you're looking around like, what the hell? What should I do with my hands? Where should my eyes be closed or open? So when we go to child's pose, your knees are wide. They're about the width of your mat. And put your big toes touching. And as you start to sink your hips back, arms lengthen as far as you can reach to the top of your mat and put your forehead down on the mat. So we are moving from the external world completely internal, and this pose is very symbolic of that, right? Because you have nowhere to look but down, so close your eyes. All right. And while you're in your child's pose, I want us to take a deep breath in through the nose and fill up the belly like it's a balloon. Pick a color for your balloon, whatever color you want. And you're taking that breath from the base of your belly all the way to the crown of your head. And as you do this, I want you to visualize like a wave of breath, bottom to top. Beautiful. On your exhale, sink and soften towards your mat. So maybe now your chest is coming down a little bit more between your thighs. Your breath is big. It's a celebration of your life. Beautiful. This time on your inhale, I want you to notice the space in between your vertebrae. It sounds kind of weird, but I want you to take an inhale through the nose and filling up your spine. I want you to find that space. My lawn guys here, I apologize for the mower. On your exhale, sink and soften. Beautiful. Let's try that one more time. Deep breath in, filling up your belly, feeling your spine elongate. Exhale, extension here. Exhale, sink and soften, melt. Beautiful. Let's come up to hands and knees. For this pose, we will leave our hips right where they are, but you're walking your hands out as far as you can. Put your chin down. You can curl into your toes if you need a little bit more leverage. A wider base of support here. This is puppy pose. This counters tech neck. Keep your chin on the mat. And we'll start to walk our hands back up underneath your shoulders, stacking your joints. Beautiful. All right, from here, let's come up to our knees. So your hips are over your knees, your shoulders are stacked right over your hips. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's try that one more time. You can curl up your toes if you need like a kickstand. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale, arms up. This time we interlace our hands, palms to the sky. Round your spine as we start to move into like a spooky cat stretch. Beautiful. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, release. Let's do that one more time together. Inhale, arms up. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up. Exhale, cat stretch, lean back, forward with the hands. Inhale, rise, and exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. So So from here, turn to face me. We'll extend the left leg beside us and keep your right leg bent. This is gate pose. We'll get into it in a minute. We'll start in modified side plank. If this is too much for you, curl under your right toes. If you need more, you can tight rope it. Knee in line with your ankle, and it allows for some wobble here for some balancing. So go where you like to go. Look up. And again, we're filling up the belly like it's a big purple balloon. Don't worry about your pants. Don't worry about how big the belly gets off of the pants. You know, we're one of the only cultures that tries to hide our breath from our belly. The belly should breathe big. The belly should expand when you take a deep breath in, and anything that's pulling it in, like holding it in, like super tight pants or a tight belt, it actually gets in the diaphragm's way, and your diaphragm will not be as toned. So deep belly, diaphragmatic breaths. Exhale, look down. Inhale, come up. Beautiful. So now we're going into that gate pose. Left hand will come to your left shin or your left thigh, and we'll reach over for lateral flexion extension. So you have a space right at your right hip point all the way out the top fingertips. And everything's opening and shifting, and these are very subtle, but you might feel some stretching here, especially in the rib cage. Beautiful. Let's take one more big breath here. Reach. And then on your exhale, slowly start to cartwheel your hands down, knee to knee. Beautiful. Curling under your toes. Let's move into our first downward facing dog just to feel the gentle energy shift along the right side rib cage and the left. So my right one feels very open, the left one does not. So you just start to notice, almost use those poses as an inquiry to notice how good you can feel. Beautiful down dogs. Let's drop the knees. All right, face each other. We'll go right into the opposite side. So extend your right leg behind you. Your toes are faced towards me to the front. Inhale, arms up. On your exhale, left hand down, right arm up. So this is that side plank variation. You can also move it into like a tightrope where your knee is in line with your hip. Beautiful. And we'll take those big, deep belly breaths here. Trying to match the inhalation to the exhalation and the length of time and the depth of the breath. Exhale, look down. Inhale, come up. Pull up. All right, gate pose on the right. Breathe in, take the left arm up and over, and it's actually moving more to the right than it is up. So we're really looking for some lateral flexion here. We're opening up from the bottom rib cage all the way up to underneath your scapula. I want to breathe in big here. I want us to start to breathe into places of tension. Breathe in. Breathe out. Find a little bit of space to safely soften. One more time. Beautiful. Inhale, reach. And exhale, we are out. Knee to knee, we're facing the top of your mat. Meet me in downward facing dog again. If downward facing dog is a tricky inversion for you, I understand. You can keep your knees bent. Hips are high, your head's in between your arms. Beautiful. Inhale, take the right leg up. This is a three-leg dog. Keep the hip points closed. They're square to your mat. On your exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. Back knee down, top of the back foot down. Inhale, arms up. This is Anjaneyasana. It's modified crescent. If arms up don't serve you, take your arms to your femur. So you can get into the psoas here. You can push the weight of your left hip forward. You don't have to. You can stay with square knees. That's okay too. And you'll find in a yoga practice, the more you can make it yours, like the more you can personalize it, the better you're going to be for it because you understand where you are within the walls of the posture. Arms on either side of your right foot. Shift your hips back. Half split. Nose to knee or chin to shin. Beautiful. take both hands to the outside edge of the foot, curl under the back toes. Now we're in that runner's stretch. Beautiful runner's stretch. We're getting into the nooks and crannies of the right hip. Beautiful. Both hands come to the inside of the right foot. Take your gaze down, step the left foot up. Low yogi squat. So we have a straight spine. Your elbows can push into your knees or to your femur bone. If this is too much for you, drop your hands and see if we can find that sweet, subtle spot between being balanced but not so rigid in our balance. Beautiful. And from here, we will step it back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Keep the hips square as we take the foot in between the hands. Back knee down, top of the back foot down, arms up, look up, Anjaneyasana. If it's too much, remember you can take your hands right to your leg. If you're feeling some compression in the low back, and sometimes this happens, where we lean so much that we crunch the lumbar spine, I want you to micro bend that back leg. All right, now really get in. And you feel how we took it out of the low spine and more into the abdominals? Reset. So we're leading with the core, not leading with the spine. Beautiful. Take your hands down, shift your hips back, half split. From here, look up. Hands to either side of your left foot, curl under the back toes for runner's stretch. And it's from here, both hands will move to the inside of the left foot. Back knee can be down or up. Sometimes you might get a little bit more leverage if you leave it down. Exhale, look down. Let's take both feet up for Malasana. And in Malasana, we'll extend the left hand at the diagonal. Just to get a little chest opener here. Let's switch. Right hand to the diagonal, left arm goes up and back. Beautiful, both hands down. And we'll step it back to plank. From plank, inhale, shift your weight forward. Exhale, bend your elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. All right, inhale, right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Now we're a little bit more prepared for a hip opener. And from here we start to balance. Take the left fingertips to your mat. Maybe you stay here for your balance. You can also take it out to the side. So now we're getting a little bit of the weight shift happening, seeing what needs to fire up to stay in this three-leg dog shape. You can even take this left arm out, airplane it, or reach it back to your back foot. And you'll find that the more you fall out, the more you'll start to discover about your practice and your habits. And you just start to notice, without ego, without judgment. Maybe you catch your foot, maybe you don't. The point is, it doesn't really matter what you do or what you look like. Focus back on your breath and your intention of the practice. We'll step it through for half pigeon. So your left leg, back knee's down, and your top of your foot is down. Your hips are square to the mat. The pose intensifies as the right heel moves away from your hip. If you need less, we draw it in. If you need more, you pull it out. All right, and from here, we'll take a deep breath in together. On your exhale, you can stay lifted, or you can start to hinge at your hips, leading with that lowest rib, so you're keeping your spine very supportive and very straight until you get somewhere you can find some softness. So the first barrier is your skin, right? And you feel it stretching as you move into these more yin-like grounding postures. But then as we move deeper through the pose, You really have to let go of the muscular engagement so you can move into the deep layers of the tissue and the fascia. These are special poses. These are getting unstuck energy. So we are kind of like cleaning out the body at a level that we can't see, but we can feel. I'll give you guys some space here to experience the breath within the posture, letting go. We'll take 5 deep breaths here. In for 5. And out for 5. Slowly start to bring your awareness back up to your mat. Your hands are underneath your elbows, elbows underneath your shoulders. And we'll sway our body to the right first. So kind of rock your body right. And the right heel will come in as close as we can to the hip. Left leg's extended. So this is Janu Sirsasana. It's head, Janu, Sirsasana, to knee, or that was flipped. Knee is Janu, head is Sirsasana. Left arm underneath you, your right arm will come up and over. So remember all of those lateral flexion poses that we had, like the gate pose? Same thing, different plane. Now we're seated, so we're actually able to get a little bit deeper into the ribs. All right, so again, left arm under, right arm comes up and over. Maybe you grab your toes. I want us to rotate underneath the right arm. So if that doesn't serve you to connect, take this right arm away from the foot and look underneath your elbow. And you can use this hand to pull the knee away. Notice when your breath becomes a bit labored. Notice when your breath becomes unsteady. That may mean that you have gone too far. So maybe pull up a little bit and see how it serves you. Redirect your breath. Find the wave of energy from belly to collarbone, and then ride that wave back down. See if you can soften. Beautiful. Let's take one more breath here together. And then we'll unravel. Cartwheeling both of your hands to the top of your mat. Curl under your left toes. Right leg bends at the top, and we'll flip our dog here. You lightly flip over. See it again. So the right foot gets really heavy, and then you flip. Coming to seated, right hand in between the legs, left hand behind you. The right leg will stay bent the entire time. Inhale, rise up. High up on the ball of the right toes on the outside edge of the left foot. Exhale, sit down. One more time. Inhale, reach. Beautiful, and then we'll flip it back over. All right, left side. Inhale, left leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip. And you feel that hip starting to open because you've been warming up the hip for about 20 minutes now. Same with that hip up and open. Take the right fingertips to the floor. Take it to the side. Airplane out the arm. Maybe catch the back foot. Again, fall out of it 1,000 times. Getting back up is the practice. One side's going to be a lot easier than the other. There's no judgment. There's only love. Can't get my damn foot. All right, inhale, left leg up, and then step it all the way through half pigeon 5, full body. Deep diaphragmatic breaths here. Again, find the situation of that heel. Back knee down, top of the foot down, breathe in. And breathe out, start to fold. If you can rock it down to your forearms. Maybe your shoulders and your chest come down. Letting go of any muscular engagement here. And you're creating all of this pressure. And all of that pressure over time, it's going to facilitate change in the body. But you have to breathe with it. You have to feel it to heal it. Just take 5 deep belly breaths here on your own. In for 5, out for 5. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. Then flicker the eyes open, plant your hands underneath your shoulders. We are curling up the left toes first. And as we move, the left knee comes into the chest. And then it extends behind us. Bend the knee, open the hip. Stay here. Or let that foot get heavy and the left arm comes over the head. Alright, so we're seated. Left hand in between your legs. Left knee's bent. As we move up, the left knee stays bent. But we come to the ball of the foot. Inhale, rise. Wild thing. Exhale, sit and soften. One more time. Inhale, rise up. Beautiful, and then we'll flip. Downward facing dog. Last down dog of your practice. Just notice, check in. Beautiful. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. On your exhale, walk or float. You're at the top of your mat. Come to seated. Feet out in front of you. Your feet are very flexed. They might flex so much that the musculature of your legs fires up. You feel muscle hug and bone, and then your heels lift. Great place to be, feeling strong. Inhale, arms up. On your exhale, lead with your lowest rib, heels come down. Catch your toes. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, look up. And then on your exhale, we'll open up for Janusirsasana. This time the left heel pulls in and the right leg stays extended. Right arm underneath your body, so you can take this right palm to the leg. Left arm comes up and over on the inhale. So showing it again, right arm under, left arm over. Catch your toes. Again, we're looking for that lateral flexion up through the left side of the body, getting really into the intercostals, starting at the hip point. Peek underneath your left arm. And if you can't quite get your peek underneath your left arm, let go of your toes. Beautiful. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Exhale, look down. Inhale, come up. Whew, feeling nice and open today. And we'll end our practice just like we started. I want us to find child's pose. And this time I want us to take wide child's pose. So your knees, the width of your mat, maybe even a little bit wider. And I want us to notice what can happen in just a couple minutes. So your big toes are touching, knees go wide. Arms out as wide as you can in front of you, like really, really reaching, and you can even take it to the corners of your mat. Let's take our right ear down. Beautiful. Let's take our left ear down. All right, forehead down. And we'll focus back on that deep belly breath. Visualize your balloon, whatever color it was. On your inhale, breathe it in. Belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, sink and soften. One more time, breathe in. And exhale. back up, crossing our ankles, and we get to the top of that pose. We'll come all the way down for Shavasana. So your feet are about the width of your mat, palms face up. And you are out. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, sweet yogis. Breathe and rest. Breathe and rest. I'll mind the time. I'm exiting this posture, but I invite you to stay here for at least 5 minutes. Again, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Breathe and rest. Slowly start to bring the awareness back to your breath. And maybe it's more of a natural breath now, less almost forced and just more natural. Your lungs know how much breath they need. Let them fill up. And then let the breath go. Again, let them fill up. And then let the breath go. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, bring mindful movement back into your body and into your day. Reach the arms back, the feet towards the front of your house. Like it's the first and very best stretch of your morning, and it very well might be. And pull your knees into your chest, give yourself a big hug, wrap it all up. Cannot pour from an empty cup. 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. Whatever you can get to is exactly what you need. Come to fetus position, pause a moment here, and I want you to think of 5 gratitudes, big or small. Just something that you're thankful for, and give you a moment to do that. And after you've thought of your gratitudes, I want you to remember them. Try to weave them throughout your day today. And whenever we remember them, we just notice how much we already have, how full we already are. And we stop kind of worrying about things we can't control, and we come into this space where we already have all the tools. We already have all the things. We just need to hone in on the awareness of how to implement them. You are brave, you are strong, and you are so worthy. Take your gratitudes with you today. We'll come to a seat. Easy sit, Sukhasana, crisscross applesauce, full half lotus. Hands on your knees, face up, thumb and forefinger connect. This is a mudra. It's symbolic of the union of your body and your mind. It's Jnana Mudra, ready to receive. Close your eyes. Find some stillness here with the spine nice and straight. Again, invite that breath into your body. Inhale and exhale. Arms inside body. Gather up all this beautiful energy in the room. Hands meet in high prayer. On a slow exhale, they find your heart. From my heart to yours, all my love and all my blessings. Namaste.